Hey guys, welcome back to the channel. Well, if you can tell by my sweatshirt, fall is here. So what does that mean? We gotta start doing some fall things. So one of my biggest jobs every year when fall hits, I need to go through all the equipment for the tree farm and get everything ready for our harvest season. We got about 7 tractors to go through, a dozen wagons, 3 Christmas tree balers, and a bunch of other odds and ends stuff. So it's a pretty big job. Usually takes me a week or 2 to do all the oils and filters and fluids and replace any parts that need replacing and odds and ends, wash them all, do the interiors. I'd like to start off with a clean slate, everything running right, because we're certainly going to break something along the way. So, as long as you start off on a good foot, it just helps you out a little bit. So that's a lot to go through. But before I can even start on that, this shop is an absolute bomb. I know I've had you guys in here for a few other projects before, but I don't know if we've ever really talked about it. I added this onto my lumber building a few years ago. It honestly is kind of my happy place. I'm sure you guys have a spot that's kind of the same. It's just where you can go to work on stuff, and it's just I actually enjoy doing this kind of stuff. I enjoy doing the maintenance and stuff like that. Sometimes it's a real bear. Sometimes you're covered head to toe in grease and oil, and you say a few foul words, but overall, I like tinkering with stuff. So I kind of built this shop so I could have all my tools all in one place. Try to be organized with my hand tools. I have spots for all my Milwaukee stuff, different holders, and try to have a spot for everything. This is the most important tool in the entire shop. I got a pretty kick-butt stereo system here, which unfortunately I could never play for you guys because of copyright laws, but no, it's nice to be able to crank some music or a podcast or something and be able to just go to work in here. So I kind of set it up for fabrication and repairs and whatnot. I have the metal chop saw there, some cabinets, big workbench. This is a cool old vise. I actually recovered this from an old farm shed and cleaned it up, painted it, redid it. That's a super heavy vise. That's really nice. All the basic stuff you'd expect to see in a shop. You got the big air compressor. That miter saw does not belong in here. That I need to get out, but I've got one more project to do here this fall before I get that out of here and back up to the other shop. It's kind of in the way. Grinder, drill press, miscellaneous tools, nuts and bolt rack, that's important, and all that stuff. We got to do some organization. I'm actually hoping, if time allows, to throw together a little shed here, a parts shed. So that might be a project this fall if we get to it. I already have the roofing and the materials and stuff. I just need time to build it. So it would be nice to get some of this stuff out of here, the oils and parts and all of that stuff doesn't really need to be in here, and it does take up space. There's some things I'd leave in here. This dresser, this was actually my dresser when I was a kid. My dad built this for me when I was young, and I had it at my house up until this year, and then I wasn't using it and I was going to junk it, and then at the last minute I decided, well, I'll hang on to it. It'll make good part storage. I'll put it in that part shed, and I got a bunch of drawers there for miscellaneous odds and ends stuff. I'm sure you guys know how that goes. It's stuff you don't have a use for, but you don't want to throw it away because you'll find a project for it down the road, and then when you find that project, you won't be able to find the part anyway, and you'll probably go buy one. But I'll fill that with junk and let it sit. And there's just a lot of stuff that really needs to be either moved somewhere else or tidied up in here. I got the welder and plasma cutter and torches and all that stuff. So I need to get to work on cleaning this up. the floor is deplorable. Floor needs to be swept and mopped and all that. So I'm gonna get to work on that, and I don't know. There's part of me that thinks it doesn't make sense to make the floor clean enough to eat off of when you're gonna change 100 gallons of oil and all that stuff. But well, it's nicer to lay on a clean floor and dump oil on yourself, I guess, than lay on a dirty floor and dump oil. So I'm gonna get to work on a few of these things. That tractor unfortunately needs some injection pump work, so that's gonna be stuck there a little bit. I'll just roll it back and forth, clean around it. So I'm gonna get to cleaning. We'll see how this goes. I'm gonna stash you guys somewhere here. I think I'll put you up on the air hose reel here, so you're up high, and I'm gonna put some music on. I'll probably time lapse you, give you guys some music to listen to, and we'll see how this goes. So how much sweeping and cleaning do you guys really want to watch? I know it's probably not the most intriguing content, probably not going viral. You know, I just wanted to, more so than the actual cleaning, wanted to show you, you know, what I got going on, what I got coming up, a little bit of shop talk here. If you're really that much into cleaning, by all means, you're welcome to come out here and clean for me anytime. I won't even charge you to do it. There's one more thing I wanted to show you, a little tip I picked up off of YouTube last year and I started doing here. If you maintain equipment, if you have a small fleet, even, you know, if you have a sawmill business and you're running a mill and some other support equipment, this might help you out. I've always written down service information, like hours on filters when I change them, and that's always a good practice. So it's right there on the machine. You know exactly when your fluids and filters were changed. But what I started doing last year, I actually made a binder, and I've got all our major equipment in here, all the tractors and skid loaders and stuff like that. And each piece gets a page, and I write down the basic information about the equipment, and then I made up these spreadsheets, and they have, it's a list, so every year you'd put this in. So I just started it last year, you know, date and hours, and then I go through engine oil, filter, hydraulic, fuel, air, filter. I mean, this is more so geared towards tractors, but you could use it, you could tailor it for anything you want. And then what I do is, every time it comes in here for service, I record that in the book, the hours and what was done, you know, miscellaneous. If something breaks and we replace a part, I put it in the book. That way you just know exactly where you're at with everything. It makes it super nice, like I'm getting ready to go through everything. So yesterday when I was on the other side of the farm, I just went to each tractor, jotted down the hours. Now I can sit down here at the bench with my book, and I know what's due for an oil change, what we can skip, and I can figure out how much oil of each grade I need, what filters I need. So rather than going from machine to machine, crawling underneath, looking at filters, all that stuff, it's all here for me. I can reference it really quick, and I know exactly when everything was done. I also, usually for each machine, I'll jot down notes on the page, like you know, how much oil each takes. So then when I look and say, okay, it needs an oil change, that's 5 gallons, that's 6 gallons, we add to the total, and then I can buy my stuff accordingly. So maybe that's a little tip, trick that'll help somebody out there. My goal over the last couple of years has just to become more organized, keep everything a little bit tidier. I'm not doing so hot right now with this shop, but it's better than what I've done in the past. So it's something I'm not naturally inclined. I'm not one of those people that everything has to be spotless. I see videos on YouTube of guys sawing and their mill is like immaculate, like the day they bought it, and well, That's not here. But I try to keep everything running in good order. I try to keep things clean. I've been trying to make more effort. It's tough when you're mostly a one-man shop to kind of get the work done and clean at the same time. It's always a balance. But I do see it has made a difference in my productivity, you know, just to be a little bit more organized, and it seems to make life easier, especially for maintenance type stuff. So I'm working at it. It's a constant battle, but I figured I'd show you guys that. I got a lot of cleaning up in here yet. I'll just finish this up. I got to go through this workbench. Still got to mop the floor and all that. So I'm gonna get that done, then I can start rolling some tractors through here and doing some service work. So I'll catch you guys next time. See ya.